You know, we all think of WhatsApp as this totally private space, right? Like a sealed letter just for you and me. Well, it turns out a new feature is kind of blowing that wide open, at least in Europe, and now the platform is under a microscope like never before.
So the big question is, what does this all mean for you? Is the app you use every single day about to change in a really big way? Well, if you're in Europe, the answer might just be yes. It's a pretty interesting story, so let's get into why.
Okay, so what's causing all this fuss? It all comes down to one single feature that really changes the game for WhatsApp. I'm talking about channels.
So what even are channels? Well, forget everything you know about one-on-one chats. This is totally different. It's not like that private letter anymore. It's way more like a public bulletin board. One person can just broadcast updates to millions of followers all at once. See, it's not a conversation, it's a public announcement. And that distinction, that's the key to this whole thing.
This entire situation really hinges on one very specific number, 45 million. Just keep that number in your head, because in Europe, that number is basically a tripwire. You hit it, and a whole different set of rules kicks in.
So, that 45 million? That's the threshold set by the European Union's Digital Services Act. It's their line in the sand. If your platform gets more than 45 million monthly users over there, boom, you land on a very special list.
Okay, so where do WhatsApp channels land? Well, they just reported their numbers, an average of 51.7 million monthly active users in the EU. So, yeah, they didn't just step over that 45 million line, they absolutely blew past it. We're talking about almost 7 million users, and you can bet that got regulators in Europe to sit up and take notice. All right, so they've crossed the line. Now what? Well, crossing that line means you're playing in a whole new league with a much stricter rulebook. And that brings us to the Digital Services Act. The Digital Services Act, or the DSA for short, what's it all about? The whole idea is to create a safer online world. It does that by making the big platforms responsible for what's on their sites, especially when it comes to tackling illegal or harmful stuff that can just spread like wildfire. And hitting that 45 million user mark, that gets you a special label. You get designated a very large online platform, or VLOP. And trust me, this is not just some fancy title. It comes with a whole bunch of new, very serious responsibilities. Now, this isn't just us talking theory here. A spokesperson for the European Commission has actually confirmed it. They are officially analyzing whether WhatsApp now fits the bill. So this is happening right now.
Okay, so let's get down to it. What's at stake for Meta, WhatsApp's parent company? What does all this actually mean for them?
Well, if they get that VLOP designation, their to-do list for channels is about to get a whole lot longer. We're talking about having to actively police illegal content, look for and deal with systemic risks, things like disinformation, and they'll have to be way more transparent with regulators and researchers. It's a huge shift. And what if they don't play ball? Let's just say the penalties are severe. They're designed to have some serious bite. And that bite comes in the form of a number that is frankly terrifying for any massive company: 6%. What's that mean? Well, the potential fine is up to 6% of the company's global annual revenue. Not just their revenue from Europe, their global revenue. For a company the size of Meta, that's billions, with a B. The financial risk here is just staggering. Now, it's really important to see the big picture here. This isn't the EU just singling out WhatsApp. Nope. This is part of a much bigger crackdown on big tech. If this all goes through, WhatsApp is basically going to be joining a pretty exclusive club. A club that, let's be honest, probably nobody wants to be in. They'll be right there with other huge platforms that are already playing by these stricter rules.
So, who's already in this club? Oh, it's all the big names you'd expect. You've got Meta's other platforms, Facebook and Instagram. You've got Google's YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. Yeah, this is the new league WhatsApp might be forced to play in.
When you step back, it's all part of the EU's much bigger plan. They are systematically making the world's largest tech companies more accountable for what happens on their platforms. It's a clear message. If you're big, you have big responsibilities.
And all of this really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? As these tools that we use for our most private chats start acting more like public squares, who gets to draw the line between the two? And maybe more importantly, who's responsible for what happens in that public space?